Not exactly what I expected to see come across my timeline on this Wednesday, but Jaylen Brown is sparking some Atlanta Hawks rumors after going on an Atlanta radio station earlier this week, and I guess we'll just let you hear the conversation real quick. Big Tigger in the morning saying the following. Is there any chance that we see you in a hometown uniform? He was talking about Atlanta. He's the Hawks PA announcer as well. And then Brown, you hear in the background say, you never know. And then they keep talking about all the rules and regulations that he's got to follow because he works for the Hawks, right? And Big Tigger goes, I would love to see you play for the hometown. And then Brown goes, my grandma would too. And, they said that they talk about it and stuff like that. And he says, you never know. We'll see. What? What are we doing here, brother? You're about to be the number one option for the Boston Celtics next season. We're talking about Atlanta. What are we doing? I mean, look. I get it. This is likely just Jaylen Brown, being a nice guy, playing along for the show, showing a little bit of love to the hometown audience, hometown fans. I'm sure would really love for him to go play for the Atlanta Hawks. But let's calm down a little bit. It's nothing that's happening anytime soon. But JB, come on, man. You're about to be the man for the Celtics next season. You're about to be the number one option for the first time in your career, and you're coming out and saying that you never know. I could play for the Hawks one day. Like, not dismissing those rumors and saying I'm a Boston Celtic right now. Just doesn't rub me the right way. I guess I should say. And you factor in his contract, obviously. Like, he's not going to be leaving anytime soon. So if Jaylen Brown wanted to leave for the Atlanta Hawks on his own free will, well, you'd have to wait all the way until 2029 when he's an unrestricted free agent. And I won't lie to you guys. Whenever I see this contract, I don't love looking at it, but when you win Finals MVP and you're one of the best on-ball defenders in the wing position, and you can go out there and create your own shot and get 25 a night, like these are the type of dollar figures that you're going to be demanding at this point in the NBA. So that's why I kind of want to ask you guys this question before we move any further. Jaylen Brown, fill in the blank for me, is the blank best player in the NBA. Jaylen Brown is the blank best player in the NBA. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section. I think somewhere around the 15 to 20 mark, but you let me know what your thoughts are down below. Alrighty, if the Celtics fans out there are really nervous after hearing what Jaylen Brown had to say on the radio, I'm going to come to you guys with a little bit of sigh of relief here because Jaylen Brown has been in and around Boston all summer long, and he went out to, I believe, a community event. It was just talking about his experience being in Boston, basically 10 years now at this point. And here's what he had to say. Boston is my home. I've been here for 10 years of my life. So even though sometimes online or in the media, it's just a lot of noise, once you get out in the community, it's a lot of love and genuine connections. And I get to see that today. Well, we get to see a lot of Jaylen Brown this upcoming year. We're going to learn a lot about Jaylen Brown this upcoming year when he takes the reins from, Jason Tatum, who's sidelined for this entire season and will be your number one option. And in all likelihood, the weight that the Celtics need to go out there and make the postseason this upcoming year. Like, if Jaylen Brown isn't out there, putting up all NBA first team, I'm saying all NBA first team type of production, then the Celtics aren't going to be a playoff team this year. And that's just plain and simple. Here's what he had to say about the upcoming season and what you should look for. You should expect for me to come out and leave my heart on the floor every single night next year. Expect me to just continue to improve and just look forward to taking matters into my own hands. Well, when he has taken matters into his own hands in the past without Jason Tatum out there on the floor, we have a 39-game sample size. That's half a season's worth of basketball that we can go out there and point to Jaylen Brown really increasing his efficiency, increasing his volume of his production without Jason Tatum out there on the basketball floor. 27 points tonight, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, a plus 50% shooter from the entire floor. And you know what? That's about Jaylen Brown, league average three-point shooting right there. He's never going to be a marksman, but he is going to be able to knock down that outside shot and do it with a contest in his face as well. Rest assured, guys, even if Jaylen Brown requested a trade to the Atlanta Hawks tomorrow, the Celtics don't have to trade him. What are we talking about here? And two, the Atlanta Hawks probably aren't able to trade him, to be quite honest with you. Jaylen Brown's a hard contract to move. You guys just saw the numbers. Guys making $50 to $60 million a season. You guys know with the CBA and all the nonsense that with the Celtics in the luxury tax and all these repeater penalties, everything is so difficult to do right now in the NBA transaction-wise that a Jaylen Brown trade is very, very hard to put together here, even if he requested out. Like, teams would have to go out there and put together massive packages, even if they knew he didn't want to be in Boston. But that is not the case. Jaylen Brown loves Boston. Even dating back to 2024, after they won the title, he called it a blessing, and he's made so many good relationships here. And he's a Boston guy, basically for life at this point. So don't worry, we should be all right here in the Jaylen Brown front. But didn't love the comments that he made over at the Atlanta radio station. Speaking of Atlanta, though. This kind of sucks, right? Charles Bassey signed a Exhibit 10 deal with the Atlanta Hawks. And look, to be honest with you guys, that's a name who we saw play in the Celtics Summer League this past offseason. And that's a guy who had a lot of production out there in Vegas. And I would have been pretty okay with bringing him on, at least for Celtics training camp here. I mean, I'm confused as to why Boston didn't want to extend a training camp invite to Bassey, but maybe they thought that he would have given Neemias Queta a run for his money, and they have plans for him to be the starting center this upcoming year. But we can still hope that he doesn't make the Hawks roster. That wouldn't really bode well for him being a good piece in the Celtics. But the dream is not dead yet. He still could be a Boston Celtic one day very soon. Next, we're going to tell you guys about the Celtics avoiding disaster this offseason, an offseason that many people would call a disaster. But I'm going to tell you why it's not in just a moment. But first, get hooked up with this awesome hoodie. The season's fast approaching. Leaves are starting to fall from the trees very, very soon. You guys can get this awesome Celtics hoodie at this link right here for very, very cheap, 40% off. Chatsports.com/BOS hoodie. That's chatsports.com/BOS hoodie to get yours today. That link's in the comment section and description of today's video. I'll tell you guys what. It is absolute wizardry. Mastery, whatever you want to call it, the highest level of GMing in the sport. Brad Stevens did that, trading away Kristaps Porzingis, getting off all $30 million of his money. Obviously, at first bringing back George Niang and then flipping him for R.J. Lewis, bringing back no salary in that one. So all $30 million of Kristaps Porzingis' money is off of the Celtics books. That is great news as far as what the Boston Celtics' priority is from the front office's perspective this offseason. However, Porzingis was looked at as kind of a steal for the Atlanta Hawks. Boston didn't have to give up any draft picks, which many people thought they would have to get rid of Porzingis. But everybody, when they saw that trade, was like, "Oh my God, the Hawks are they're next up. They just got their needle mover in Kristaps Porzingis." Because look, when Porzingis is healthy, he absolutely is a needle mover. But I'm not so sure that he is. And Brian Windhorst said the following about his Eurobasket performances. He said, "Scouts were really not blown away by the way Kristaps Porzingis looked. They felt that he looked not the sort of impact player they're used to seeing. He admitted that while he feels better than he did in the spring, he's still got a ways to go. He's not back to the full health he was at." I think Porzingis was gone either way this offseason, but I can't say I'm too upset given the fact that he's not fully recovered and he's out there playing basketball right now. It doesn't make a lot of sense. It doesn't seem like Porzingis is ever going to reach the heights that he reached definitely in that first quarter of Game 1 in the 2024 Finals, but maybe really at all what he accomplished with the Celtics during at least the regular seasons that he played with them in 24 and 25. Look, now that I say this, I'm probably jinxing the whole situation. He'll probably dominate. He'll probably be 100% healthy, and he'll look like the guy that we saw in the NBA Finals, at least for a short period of time, and the Hawks will probably reach the Eastern Conference Finals. They'll probably make the Finals, and who knows after that. That's just type of the luck I have. But I think the Celtics made the right decision moving off of Kristaps Porzingis and Jrue Holiday, for that matter, this offseason. What do you guys think? Given the circumstances, Tatum's out for the season. Did the Celtics make the right moves this offseason? Type Y for yes, type N for no down in the comment section. What do you guys think Brad Stevens did this summer? Right or wrong? Give me a follow over on Twitter at Tyler J. Smith. We'll keep the conversation going over there, as that will do it for today's edition of Celtics Today by Chat Sports. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. We'll be updating you guys as the training camp gets closer. We'll see you in the next one. And as always, let's go C's.